At CBF, we know that for you to change your body, you need to change your mind. Exercise and eating healthy is only part of the plan. We care about our members as we care about our family because our members become our family. It is not about competition, but support. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about you defeating your negative self. It is about working together and making the task challenging and have fun. By the end, what matters is not how hard the session was, but that you take control of your mind so you can take control of your body. My name is Sandro Torres, and I'm happy you are part of our family. Welcome to Custom Body Fitness. Okay everybody, today I'm gonna give you a talk about how can you stop worrying and start living life. So first of all, let's find out how worry affects your life. Worry makes you ill. It's a big cause of cancer, diabetes, arthritis, panic attacks, heart diseases, depression, anxiety, and many other diseases. And as you probably know, we focus on weight loss. So also, it's a big factor of you gaining weight. I want you to make a research, not only think. I'm gonna give you a couple conclusions I have made about the research I have made. Not everybody who smokes dies of cancer, lung cancer, or develops lung cancer. Not everybody who has high blood pressure or high cholesterol or heart problems has a heart attack or dies of a heart attack. The same goes with any other disease. Not everybody who has high sugar levels and low insulin develops diabetes. However, that trigger point for people who get a heart attack, for people who actually get cancer, for people who get diabetes, arthritis, and so on, is stress. And stress is nothing else than worries. It's what you have in your head and what you worry about. What I think is most important out of all those things that I just talked about, all those diseases and you gaining weight, I think what is more important, the worry takes the peace away from you. You're not peaceful anymore. You stop living life and you start living in hell, but you worrying about things that can't happen, they happen, and then things that never gonna happen, but you worry about. So let's talk about it a little bit. So let's talk about past stress. Let's focus a little bit on that. Your past really doesn't exist anymore. However, you made mistakes in the past. Somebody hurt you in the past. And there is things that you can do to fix that and completely forget about it, because that past doesn't exist. The only way it exists is by you attaching your feelings to that past. And the only way you attach the feelings to that past is when you get emotionally impacted by that past. So let's talk about it. When something happened in the past that doesn't have an effect on you, so just completely forget about it because it doesn't exist anymore. If you made a mistake, for example, let's say you asked for money to a friend 10 years ago and you asked for a big amount. Back then you rationalized that your friend has a lot more money than you. Therefore, it's okay. He can live without the money that he lent to you and you don't want to pay him back. So you lose the friendship. But something inside of you is telling you that you're doing something wrong. Then 10 years later, now, you understand that doesn't matter if he has more money than you, it's still his money, and you understand that you need to pay him, but you think it's too late because it has been 10 years. So for you to forget about your past, you need to fix that mistake you made. So what I recommend you do, call your friend, arrange payments. If you have the money, pay him. I recommend you give him some interest because he is very kind of not asking for the money. If he did ask, he's actually waiting. So give him some interest, pay him back, and tell him that you're sorry. Tell him that you weren't really think straight. So once you take care of that, you completely forget about it, because now you feel relief. If you hurt somebody, however, emotionally, physically, you pick up the phone, call them, and ask for forgiveness, and tell them that you are really sorry, and send them flowers, send them a present, or anything to compensate, because by you asking for forgiveness, the person is gonna feel relief, and you as well is gonna feel relief. So that's fixing your past, and once you fix it, you completely forget about it. Let's talk about the things that can be fixed, that there is no way you can fix your past. For example, let's say that I'm gonna put my pet as an example. I love my dogs, especially Pelon. Pelon is one of the dogs that I'm very attached to, and one day he got into an accident, and he had this herniated. Emotionally, I did take not only an emotionally, but also emotionally, and a decision based in fear. I make a quick research. I was afraid that he not gonna be able to survive, because he was paralyzed from the middle of his back all the way to his leg. He was dragging his leg. So I went to a couple vets, and they told me that I should go and do surgery. I arranged a surgery the next day. They got it done, and then my dog is still the same. He was dragging his legs. I was waiting for him to recuperate. But later, with time, without emotions, I did another research, and I find out that all the dogs, they have the same problem. They do recuperate without surgery, and they recuperate 100%. My dog, now after the surgery, he never recuperated 100%. He's walking, yes, but you can see when he's hunching, he's in pain, and so on. So I made a mistake, and sometimes back in the past, I used to feel bad about it because of the bad mistake I made. Pelon doesn't have to pay for my mistakes. However, I forgive myself. I let go. I don't think about it anymore. Say, okay, that's a big mistake I made. Next time, I'm not gonna make a mistake like that, and I'm gonna make a bigger research, and I'm not going to make a emotional decision. I'm not gonna be in fear when I make a decision, because that's very important that you don't make emotional decisions. But that's another video. Right now we're talking about worries. So when you forgive yourself, when you know you're gonna make mistakes that can be fixed, let it go. Let it go, let it in the past, and that won't exist. And the other thing about your past that you have to think about is if somebody hurt you, if you have been either physical, sexually, however you've been abused, and somebody took advantage of you. So then what you want to do is forgive the person. I believe that it takes another video to talk about it, but once you understand why people act the way they act, and understand yourself and the mistakes that you're making, then you're gonna understand other people, and you are gonna be able to forgive them. And you're not doing them a favor when you forgive them. You're not doing them a favor. You're doing a favor to you, because once you forgive that person and you let go that resentment, that anger, that fear, that revenge feeling, or whatever it is that you feel, you let those feelings set you free, and you start worrying about that. You let the past be. Once you let the past be, the past doesn't exist. So take care of your past, forget about it the way I just tell you, and let's talk about the future. Many people worry about what's gonna happen in the future. I used to be one of them. I used to be worried about everything. My car breaking up, about me not having a job, about not making enough money, about me getting sick, about me, you name it. I worry about many things. But then I learned a couple things that I'm going to teach you right here. First of all is, if you want to avoid things in the future that you have control over it, take control over it. For example, learn about what are some causes of cancer. There are some vaccines that do cause cancer. There are some food that do cause cancer. There are some medication that cause cancer. There are some toxicity out there that cause cancer. So take control of of that and stop taking things that contribute to cancer. Learn about it. Don't just trust what I say in this video. Go make your research. Learn about pesticides, learn about chemicals, learn about how you're taking those chemicals. And then once you get the facts about the truth, you can take control over it. You don't have to worry about cancer. The same with money. If you worry about money, learn about how you can become the best employee. Learn about how can you become the best business. Save your money, invest it. Don't worry about it. Work on it. Stop spending money in useless things and start saving it to invest it. Make that money work for you. So that way you don't have to worry if a recession comes. You don't have to worry if you lose your job. You don't have to worry if you get injured, anything like that. Because now you have your life figured out. You're preparing yourself for the future. That's one thing. Second thing is the things that you don't have control over it, which is if it's gonna rain, if it's gonna snow, if an accident happen because of an accident. You don't plan accidents, they just happen. You have to understand that you have to grow your faith in God. You really have to grow your faith in God and understand that everything is gonna be okay. If you understand that, everything is gonna be okay, of course, taking control of the things that you can take control and let the other things that you don't have control over, let be. And things are gonna be just fine. Whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna tell you a great example. My wife just delivered a baby. We have a beautiful girl. She is a month old already. And honestly, she's taking the toll right here. She's the one who's doing the hard effort and everything. She wakes up like 3 times during the night. I wake up as well, but I don't feed the baby. She's the one who's staying up and feeding the baby, because we're doing breastfeed for the baby, because it's the best thing you can do to increase the immune system in on the baby, so the baby doesn't get sick. And also, not only helps with the immune system, also is the best nutritionist food that you can give them. And plus, not only that, you're not giving them any other formula bottles or anything like that that has chemicals. Even though you're trying to buy the best one, the cleanest one, is not gonna be nothing compared to mama's milk. Anyway, so as you see, I'm taking control of what I can to make sure my baby is healthy. When she grows up, if she decides to eat junk food, she decides not to exercise, she decides to do drugs or drinking, which we're gonna do our best not to lead our baby that way. We're gonna try to teach her the best, but whoever she decides, at least I'm in peace that I did everything I can when she was a baby. And same with Gisela, my wife. Anyway, she is taking the whole toll there. She's taking care of the baby. She was the one who went to the pain and delivered the baby. So I give her a lot of credit for that. She's amazing. However, one of the things that she can control, yeah, she's working on it, is about worrying. She worries about, for example, when she was pregnant, the nurses recommend more ultrasounds than what she needed. I believe 1 ultrasound is fine. We did 2. The nurses wanted us to do like 3 or 4. And I say, honey, you just have to trust. I mean, you're doing everything that you're supposed to do to have a healthy baby. You're not doing any drugs. You're not drinking. You're not taking medication. You're eating very healthy, organic. You're eating the right amount of food. You're eating all those nutrients. You are exercising. You are sleeping enough. You're not taking any chemicals in your body. The baby's gonna be healthy. Just trust. All you have to do is trust. You don't have to get an ultrasound. And the reason why they recommend the ultrasound is because the baby was smaller than what they expected. I just don't follow orders without thinking. I like to think and make my conclusion. And I told my wife, it's okay. And if it's something wrong with the baby, there is absolutely nothing we can do. You're not gonna abort the baby. We don't want to kill our baby. It's our baby. We don't want to kill our baby. We want our baby to actually born. We want to enjoy our baby, and we're nobody to take her life away. So if we decide to conceive the baby, so then we need to be mature and take care of the baby. So you're not gonna abort the baby. So whatever, if it's missing an arm, if it's not healthy, if it has a disease or whatever, it's gonna born in the way it's gonna born. Then once it borns, we'll take care of whatever it is. But don't live in worry. Don't think about anything is going wrong with the baby. Just trust. You already see the first ultrasound. She seems very healthy, and there is absolutely nothing else that we can do for it. So just relax. Let's welcome Arlette, and if it's something wrong, we'll take care of it when we get there. So don't be afraid of things. Just trust. The next thing that she was afraid of, it was not producing enough milk for the baby to actually fed and be healthy. Because in the beginning, if you've been pregnant, if you know about pregnancy, a woman doesn't produce enough milk. Produce just a little bit. It's not even called milk. I don't remember what is the name of the product, but it's enough for the baby to feed the first 3 days, and then you go to another product which is not milk, and it's high nutrients, so the baby is fed for another couple of days, and then the milk kicks in. So she was worried, and I said, don't you worry about it, but we need to feed her something. I say, we don't need to feed her anything. You feeding her what she needs to be fed. And then in the future, if you're not producing milk, then we see other options. We can buy some milk from other women. We can actually opt for the last thing that we want to do, which is formula. But don't you worry. Once we get there, we'll find out. But right now, I want you to focus on trusting that you're going to produce enough milk. And just like I told her, she produced enough milk. So that's how people worry in life. You worry about many things and you don't know what's gonna happen. So instead of worrying, just trust that everything is gonna be okay. And let's say if something went wrong with Arlette when she born and we needed to take care of it, so that's how it is. I'm not gonna be worried before things happen. When it happens, that's when I'm gonna take care of that issue. The same with the milk. If my wife doesn't produce enough milk, so then we opt for other things. But you can't be worried about what's gonna happen if you're not there yet. Like I said, you need to prepare yourself, but things that you don't have control over, just let it be and trust that everything is gonna be okay, no matter the consequences, because that's the way it is. There is not absolutely nothing that you can do. The other thing that I want to talk about is about crossing that bridge when you get there. I remember that saying from a very old friend that I have. She's not old. It's all like 20 years ago since I know her. You can't worry about something that hasn't happened, like I told you before. When you get there, then you look for a solution. Because you don't know if you're even gonna get there. For example, let's talk about retirement. Retirement, you're not gonna wait until you're old for you to think about your retirement. Like I said, prepare yourself for your retirement. Instead of worrying about your retirement, prepare yourself for your retirement, right? But let's say you are gonna go camping. You're gonna prepare yourself for camping. But what about if it rains? What about if it's not? If there is no spots? What about if we get there too late? What about if there is animals? What about? Okay, prepare everything you can to be ready for that, but don't expect anything until you get there. Once you get there, then if it's raining, okay, prepare yourself for raining. Then if there is not another spot, drive somewhere else. If there is animals that are very dangerous, it's your choice if you want to stay there, if you have firearms, just in case that you need them, or go camp another place. That's what you do. Cross the bridge when you get there. Apply that everywhere in your life. So when that happens, you understand that the future really doesn't exist, once again, because you don't have to worry about it. You prepare, but you let things happen, and you put all your trust in God. That leaves us with our present. When you're in the present, you're not traveling with your brain in the future. You're not traveling into the past. If you're in the present, you fully live in the present. Now you can prepare for the future. You can study your past to make better decisions in the future. You don't go on back to create bad feelings. You learn from your mistakes and you prepare for the future. You prepare in the present for the future, and you live the moment. You enjoy every single moment that you do. That you live and do things, right? So when that happens, you're fully in the present because now you're not worrying about anything. And if you're not worrying about anything, you can put all that energy into creating, into improving your life, into improving other people's life. Okay, now we're going to give you the last tip. Learn the facts. The news are not the facts. Your friend is not the facts. Gossip is not the facts. And sometimes your friend and people and the news are gossip. Don't trust just for trusting. Learn, make a research. If it's true, I'm going to give you a great example. If it's true that coronavirus is killing a lot of people, don't just trust the news. Go to the place where it's supposed to be dying a lot of people. And if it's people dying, then find out why they're dying. If it's a virus, then you can conclude that's a fact. Nobody came and tell you. You find out that it's true. Then prepare for that. And the same with food. For example, I told my members, when I give you food advice about weight loss, don't just trust me. Don't say, Sandro, say this. Because it's not about what I say. It's about you understanding. If I make a research that pesticides contribute to cancer with weight gain and all that, I could be honestly wrong. You don't know that unless you make a research. Go find the facts. Find the facts, and once you find the facts, then make a conclusion. And once you make a conclusion, then you make a decision. For example, another thing, let's say you get into trouble with a person for I'm trying to come up with an example right now. Let's say you hit a car. You were backing up and hit the car. And you make the conclusion, this person is going to be very angry, is going to throw me to jail, or whatever. You get very panicked, but you don't know anything. And if you don't know anything, instead of that, calm down, relax a little. It has a solution. Maybe the person is not there, but you know you made a mistake. Leave a paper in the car so the person can call you. You don't know how she or he is going to react. Until you confronting him or her, then you know how it's going to react. You're going to know the facts. Maybe you don't need to call insurance. Maybe the guy is so wonderful that you just scratch the car a little bit, and maybe he's going to do some body work and he was planning to do it and he said, it's fine. Just invite me to lunch. But maybe, you need to pay, you need to call your insurance so they can pay them, or whatever it is. But find out the facts. Don't panic about anything. Always find out the facts. Don't make emotional decisions. And remember, the facts is not what you want to hear. The facts are the facts. So don't look for what you want, what supports your point. Just look in general information and then make a conclusion. So that's it. Live your life with this advice to take care of your worries and live a fulfilling life. With that in mind, you're going to be free of drugs, free of medicine, free of alcohol, free of bad behaviors, because that's what worry actually make a lot of people do. They practice bad behaviors because they worry a lot. So if you start taking care of your worries and start taking control of your life, it's going to be an easier life. My hope is that these talks help you and get you results. So apply this into your life. And I'll be tuning in the next talk.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed the content offered here, then I know you will enjoy these books. These are great tools to lead you to successful weight loss, better health, and greater happiness.